My name is Amy Blue, and I will be instructing this section of WGS 201, Introduction to Women and Gender Studies at Eastern Kentucky University. This is an online class, and instead of using Blackboard, which I sometimes find to be impersonal and a little bit difficult to navigate, I've decided to give this semester a try on Facebook. So you're going to sort of be my guinea pigs, and I'm also experimenting. So if you have any feedback to offer me, please feel free to email me and let me know what you think is going well and what you think is not going well so that I can sort of change it up during the semester and we can have a really productive and fun semester together. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is during the course of this 10-minute introductory lecture, I want to tell you a little bit about the syllabus and how to read the syllabus and go over some of the more important parts, or what I see as the more important parts of the syllabus. So I'm going to pull my syllabus up on my laptop and talk you through it. If you see me looking down constantly, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I'm looking at the syllabus. So pull yours up too and sort of listen to the sound of my voice, or if you have it printed out, then you can watch me too. So I'm just going to start at the beginning, at the very top box. You'll see right there in red in the middle that this course's Facebook group is called WGS 201 Blue Summer 2010. And I've asked you to join this group no later than Tuesday, May 18th, so that we can start our Facebook chatter. And I'll get to all of these little terms that I'm using here in just a second. Again, my name is Amy Blue. The email that I'll ask you to use is my Michigan State University email address, and that's where I'm addressing you from right now, is East Lansing, Michigan. So I'll tell you here in just a little while how you can approach me and how we can get to know each other and how you can feel like you have a personal connection to me if that's important to you. I know that as a student I always like to have personal connections with my teachers, and we can do that. That's perfectly fine, and I think that it's possible online, and I'll tell you some ways that we can do that over the next 10 minutes or so. So my email address is blueamy@msu.edu. My Facebook account is a blue dude, and that's also my Skype account, and those are the two primarily the two ways that you'll be able to contact me throughout the semester is either by friending me on Facebook and using Facebook chat, or by friending me on Skype and using Skype chat. And again, I'll get to that. That's in our syllabus. The first section on page 1 of our syllabus is materials. We're going to be using a textbook called Women, Images and Realities, a Multicultural Anthology, the 4th edition. It looks just like this. You should be able to find it at the EKU bookstore and also at SBS on Lancaster in Richmond. It might be a little bit late at this point to purchase the book on the internet, but I have found it and I linked you guys to it in the previous email that I sent for around 30 bucks or so, so it's not terribly bad. I'm not trying to break your bank. I realize that you have lots of fun things to do this summer, and so do I, so let's try to keep it cheap, right? In order to keep it fairly inexpensive for all of us, I'm going to be using additional readings made available to you through Facebook links, email attachments, and stuff that I'll send out on Blackboard, and I'll try to keep you guys informed as much as possible on where that information is, because I know we're going to several different places in order to find information. So I'll use Facebook and mass emails sent out to everyone in the class to sort of keep us all on the same track here. Other required materials that you need to have is your EKU email address, because that's what the Blackboard emails, when I send out mass emails on Blackboard, they'll go to your EKU email address. You'll need reliable, extremely reliable internet access, a Facebook account, maybe a YouTube account, and we'll talk about that, and then access to a webcam if you plan on uploading yourself on video, and again, we'll talk about that too. It's not required, but since this is not a writing intensive course, I want to give you as many options as possible to get information back to me, and so writing is just one of those ways, but you can also use YouTube, you can use a website that I'll talk a lot about called Prezi.com, and all of this is up to you. I'll take your assignments however I can get them, and you guys can be sort of the masters of that domain, figure out what you want to do. I'm not going to go over the course description because I think you can read that yourself, or the course objectives because you can read those as often as you want, but I do want to say a few things about the general course overview, which is at the bottom of the first page of your syllabus. This course does rely heavily on technology and on reading, and if you'll scroll down a little bit more in that second paragraph that begins each week, you'll see that each week you will be responsible for 30 to 50 pages of reading, and that's just the stuff from the textbook. That's just the assigned readings that I'll be giving you. You'll also be responsible for sitting in front of your computer for about an hour and a half every day, and reading each other's Facebook responses, reading each other's replies, commenting on each other's responses, posting discussion boards, posting on the event walls. And what I'm sort of envisioning is that this hour or hour and a half that you're spending online will be the substitute for an actual in-class session. So you know that most summer sessions we spend an hour in class 5 days a week or 4 days a week. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping that you'll do with this class too, is set aside about an hour or so um, when you're all probably already on Facebook anyway, to just be on our page and look through people's postings and see what they've got to say, respond to them, maybe make some new friends. You're not at all obligated to friend every single person in this class, because even without friending them, we can still correspond with one another on Facebook walls, on the walls of our discussion boards, on the walls of our events. So it's not required that you make friends with everyone, but you can if you want, and you can certainly friend me, as that will make it a little bit easier to find me on Facebook chat, for example. And so you'll be reading quite a bit during this class, but I hope that you understand that that's substituting for in-class discussion time, and it's just the normal way that classes are conducted, heavy reading. Um, Go on down just a little bit more to the technology and reading component clause in this, and I just sort of reiterate here that this is a very technologically heavy and reading heavy class. So I think that everyone will do just fine. The readings are not difficult readings. The people who have used this textbook in the past, those students who have used it, have said that it's been really great. I've enjoyed reading it, and I wouldn't assign you anything that I myself don't enjoy reading. So hopefully you'll learn a lot from it, and you'll find yourself really engaged in some of these readings. Some of them are a little bit more scholarly, a little bit more academic in tone. Others of them are a little bit more autobiographical in tone. So there's a pretty even mix of people telling their stories and then people talking about those stories and what they mean in a larger context. So as we go through this semester, you'll get a little taste of each one of those. In the assignment descriptions part now, it's on page 2, I think. Yeah. And the first thing that you'll see is the Facebook discussion board chatter. Now here's how the semester is going to be laid out. Each of our 6 weeks is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 is Monday, Tuesday, and part 2 is Wednesday, Thursday. So each week has 2 parts. For the first part of each week, we'll just have Facebook wall chatter, and you'll find that under the discussion board section of our Facebook page. So if you go onto the Facebook page and you look at those tabs that run along the top, you'll see wall, info, events, discussion, photos, video. If you click on the discussion tab, you'll see each week has 2 discussions. So for part 1 of each week, you'll go on to 1-1 or 2-1 or 3-1 or 4-1. And then for the second part, you'll go on to 1-2 or 2-2 or 3-2 or 4-2. So that's how that's divided up, and we'll just have friendly Facebook chatter back and forth with one another. There's no requirement except for that you post at least once and that you sort of keep up with the readings and respond to people, and it should be a really informal, almost mimicking the sort of back and forth that we would have in class with a normal lecture class, where we have a really good, invigorating discussion. So that's what happens on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday of each week. So if you'll scroll down a little bit, you'll see the next part that says End of the Week Facebook Events, the top of page 3 of your syllabus. On Friday of each week, I'll open up an event, and this week's event is already opened up, and this is where you will post a more formal academic end of the week response that's supposed to sort of synthesize or pull together the entire week's lessons. Each of these posts will be approximately 300 to 500 words, and it's not very long, just a little tiny little snippet of your thoughts. And you have the option of writing those out in a Microsoft Word document and editing and revising and making them really pretty, and then copying and pasting them onto the Facebook event wall. Or you can do exactly what I'm doing right now and set up your webcam and talk directly into the webcam after you've practiced a couple of times so that you're not stumbling all over the place, and upload that video response instead. However you choose to do it. If you do it in text, it's 300 to 500 words, and if you do it in video, it's 2 to 5 minutes in duration. So that's up to you, whichever way you're more comfortable, and you can alternate as the semester goes along. One time you might want to write, and the next time you might want a video upload. So each time you upload any of these Facebook events responses or discussion board responses, they'll be viewable to every single person who logs on to our Facebook wall, just so you know. But I do this because I like for our conversations to stay really public. I don't agree with the idea that we write in privacy and then we submit it to a teacher and the teacher reads in privacy